I think it was midsummer like 2020, and I was standing in the kitchen, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I need to order some magazines for some gun or another that I have." And I stopped, and I was like, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm tired of panic buying everything. I'm tired of the pressure to do stuff to buy more magazines or buy more ammunition being fear. And I'm tired of the shortages being based on everyone being afraid of shit being taken away. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I'm gonna get rid of all the guns I have that aren't capable, and I'm gonna buy stuff that's really nice. So I walked into the gun store right as George Floyd riots were starting, and I don't remember where this was in relation to this decision I'd made. And they had an artillery Luger for I think it was $1,600, and I was like, "Give me that," because fuck it. I was like, "Fuck it," An AR at that point was going for $1,000, and that's a really entry level AR, like a PSA gun. And shit was just way too expensive. I mean, magazines haven't changed price for the most part in the last 2 years, as it's 2021 right now. ARs have, of course, mooned and gone back down, and my Luger's still the same price. It's also much more rare and much more interesting than an entry-level AR. In regards to capable guns, I realize it's there's formats that exist for a reason. There's formats that exist for the military, for the specific shit that they do. But for civilians, 14.5-inch guns that are pinned and welded are absolutely fucking pointless. There's no benefit. There's no benefit because you still have to have a 16-inch gun to not violate the NFA. If you look at specs on 5.56 velocity in relation to barrel length, well, 11.5 and 12.5 are pretty much the most capable. And then also, if you add a suppressor to them, they bring you back up to 12 plus 18 inches, thereabouts. But you should also have light, IR laser, IR illuminator, and optic on those. Because there's no point. Because the nature of the Second Amendment is, everyone says, "Oh, shall not be infringed, shall not be infringed." But they ignore the well-regulated part because they're just fucking casuals, right? They're just people who go, shoot, 2-3 times at a public range or at a indoor range. There's so many people who are just hobbyists who buy stuff because it's cool. Being pro-gun is being a near-peer threat. That's the nature of the Second Amendment, being part of the well-regulated militia. Where are we now in 2021? We're at drones, electronic warfare, 5th-gen warfare, psychological operations. Even the Taliban have fucking night vision. Why aren't you a near period of fucking goat herders? I started buying, bought nicer stuff. And I sold off my SKSs, and I bought a drilling. It's a custom gun, it's engraved. It's 100 years old. I got a hold of a shitbox, Colt 1903, that I have a short video on. And, improve my gunsmith skill because that's a hobby of mine. And something I want to tell people who just, your only hobby is just buying guns, kind of like having guns. That's fucking boring. Seriously, get other hobbies, because otherwise you're just this narrow band of person. Because if your only hobbies are buying shit in politics, I don't want anything to do with you, because you're boring as shit. Because with the whole thing with the gun stuff, it's it's just so often "Oh, this is gonna get fucking banned, you need to go buy it." And now ammunition is as of 5.56 has almost always, I've never seen it under 27 cents a round for brass case, and that's the Wolf Gold. It's always been 30 cents a round, and that's why I always shot combat stuff, because the magazines were, for AKs, $5 for one, and the ammunition was 25 cents a round shipped to my door, and I can manage that with a basic job. And it kills me so much because people totally fail to see. I mean, people as gun people in general, gun community, not gun culture, totally fail to see the ramifications of import bans creating glass ceilings for firearms ownership. Because Yeah, AKs aren't that capable, but you know what? You know what I learned to shoot on? A Mosin gun and a fucking AK. Why? Because I was very fucking poor. And AR basic AR mags back in like the mid 2000s, post ban 2000s were like $25, and ammunition was 30 cents a round. And then there was like up until PSA was sort of becoming a thing. Like the only guns you could get were Rock River. I think Magpul made ARs for a little bit. I can't remember because I'm not an AR person. And Rock River, Colt, and Bushmaster, which were known to be like bad, like actually bad. And they were all expensive. They're all like $800. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get an AK because they work good, and they did. And looking back now, and also having worked with so many AKs and tried to bring them up to like the capability of what a fighting rifle is, which is light optic, and what else is it? Light optic and sling. It's honestly fucking terrible. It really is. Like, yeah, I have the money to buy that shit, but you know what, I'm not going to, because AKs are fucking heavy. Like, they seriously are. And if you want to do anything outside of like what the way it comes from the factory, you need to know people who build. Because like, oh, I want a different muzzle device. Well, it's probably not going to be concentric to the bore, and you really can't run it suppressed because you got to deal with this concentricity issues, and you got to put a whole new gas piston on it and pin or rivet it or however the K&S attaches. And you got to buy whatever rail it is, which is like $200 to $300, which a Geisley rail cost about that. And then you got to buy your optic mount system, which pretty much ours regular. It's the only one you should really buy, which is like no, it's not $300. It's like, again, $250. So then your optic is probably going to be about the same, either $250 to $500. So why the fuck shouldn't I just buy an AR, which I can bolt the optic directly to it? I can run whatever can I want onto it because it's 90% going to be concentric, and just go from there. I can buy a Geisley rail used for $250. I can buy the BCM rail for like $200, I think. I just bought one. I don't remember what it cost. And I can have it built in 2 hours. And that's really what's sold it for me so far. Is just like, I can't fucking shoot these at indoor ranges. The magazines are like $25 for a single AK mag now. If my sights, if I buy a gun, because I buy almost all my guns used, and the fucking sights are canted, it's a pain in the ass to fix. It really is, because I have to, you have to depin it, clock it, drill it, and not fuck up the drilling so the pins don't fall out, once you reinstall them, or once you install the new oversized pins. And it's just like, there's so much fucking hassle and cost to go through to get this gun up to this level of capability, where it also lags behind in its functionality. Like AKs, they're accurate, but they're not as accurate as a normal AR. They just aren't. I mean, because of the ammunition quality predominantly, and then somewhat the nature of the action. But I really feel like, on that note, because now we have PSA making AKs in the US, because USA quality control and machines are better than anything in the East Bloc, I really feel like it's going to step up the accuracy of the AKs, because of how all the concentricity issues kind of just like go away once you have like good equipment, good machines making this shit. Because if you think about it, you have your square trunnion and you have your circle in the center which your barrel goes through, right? So if it's on a US made gun and it's perfectly central to those two sides, and then all your other shit is central, like your sight components are central in their sight ears, as well as the hole where the barrel goes through. Well, everything's going to be more in line with one another, or what's the word? Planar. There's a math word, I forget, like tangential, or either tangential or planar, I forget the word, to one another, and just gonna end up being a better fucking gun. I've had Arsenal AKs too, I had a SLR 107CR and a 107FR. I traded the 107FR for a Dana Defense AR. That's kind of the only gun I regret trading. But the point where I'm at is I have all the stuff now that's like capable, like the lights and doodads and all that shit. And I realized, dude, it's just fun. Like it's super fun being able to go out like at night and just like go shoot stuff. It's that child just like like I grew up shooting turtles with my 1022 at our lake because, you know, they'd either kill our ducks or eat our fish. So it's not, I mean, it's pest control, but it's that, you know, that just fun, that like joy of shooting that's really been brought back with like having stuff that's just capable. And then also on the other end, it's like I said, I bought the high-end sporting guns. They're an actual piece of history because the culture of that and the tooling of that was really destroyed. Oh man, after World War II, because the Soviets took over those regions and they just killed off all that cottage industry of gun making because they killed the people, and they took all the tooling, like all the machines and shit, got debowed and brought back to the Soviet Union for them to use or do whatever. I don't think most people shoot more than 1,000 rounds a year, so I'm not against having, you know, expensive guns because I'm just not gonna shoot them that much, man. And also, like, it's just a better investment, you know, because like my friends go like, oh, look at my new AR, and I don't know, maybe because I'm jaded because I'm on the internet so much, I see like just really so many just ugly, crappy ARs, and just so many fucking AKs with the Reddit special, the gas tube, sheet metal bullshit with the holes drilled in it, and the shark fin Romanian dong handguard. Oh my god, do I fucking despise people who have that. Oh, and the Bakelite magazine that you paid $90 for, yeah. Ugh. This is really the case with anything. You have the collectors, and then you have the people who shoot a lot. And like, look, man, we're in two different realities of the shit that we want, so we're not gonna see eye to eye. Like, I don't give a fuck if you put rails on your AK, but don't pull out a 107 what is it, 104 FR, the 545 Arsenal gun. Don't pull that shit out and call it a AK-100. Like, if we're gonna talk about like purism or models or whatever, bro, the patterns exist. Like, a fucking BMW is not a Toyota Corolla. I'm not saying quality-wise, I'm saying pattern. Because, like, they aren't cross-compatible mechanically. They aren't. And that's another thing with AKs. That shit drove me fucking nuts. Because I had a Saiga, and I was like, I can't get any spare parts for this. I don't want this gun anymore. Dude, I'll tell you, that Saiga was the nicest fucking AK I had. Then I had a home build, which was an AKM pattern barrel with all AKM internals and a triangle side folder stock, the internal one. Man, you want to talk about a fucking, you shoot enough, you fuck with enough guns, you pick something up and you're like, oh, grub. Like that monkey brain going, and it's like, I could beat a mastodon to death with this. Like, you know it's capable because it checks the boxes. It's fucking light, it's accurate, points well, carries well, solid. And that's something that's really overlooked with a lot of people who just like, oh, these people are using this, I need to have that. Just like, I'm pretty intuitive, so I just like get shit, and I was like, I need to be capable if I'm gonna have an AK. Because like, you know, because it was the era of like the fucking zombie apocalypse. Like, zombie shit was everywhere, tons of zombie movies, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I need to be capable, I need to be able to have magazines on my body. And I just kind of like, I guess, reinvented the wheel in some regards. Like, okay, this is what I need to do. And it really wasn't until like, what, 2018 that a ton of AK stuff started coming out, like the Magpul furniture. Like, the Magpul furniture is great, man. Like, and it's like, no, you don't understand the philosophy of, like, nothing fancy has been fucking right all the time. The philosophy of use of this system. Like, what is it, 10.3, 10.5, whatever it is, AR pattern gun, those are meant to be run suppressed. They don't really run good otherwise. I mean, that's why I say, like, you should have the 11.5 or 12.5 because it does fucking everything.